Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out DLC. In the previous episode we prepared our rocket, the spaceship we're gonna use in order to visit our next planetoid. I'm absolutely in love with this new rocket system, I just love it, especially also that you can somewhat customize the interior of your capsule and get prepared in a whole different way. The astronauts now actually require oxygen and they also require a little bit of food, so I got them non-decayable food in the joint in order to get them prepared. What we're waiting for at the moment is finishing everything that is required in order to fuel this up, and then hopefully we can go ahead and actually do this. It's basically just the carbon dioxide pipe that we are still waiting for. Looking at the breathability of my base, it is actually pretty good right now. However, at some points I think we could use a little more oxygen. Also, where we can breathe a lot, it's still only at 1 kilogram. And this is why we are struggling a little bit to push the chlorine and carbon dioxide down in a sufficient way. So what I would like to do as soon as I used up this pool of polluted water is dig down a little bit more and maybe set up another sublimation station. In the previous episode we also established a sweetle farm. There are a couple more sweetles that we could go ahead and pick up. Maybe let's do that right away. You guys can feel honored, I'm gonna add you to my pen. We have a couple of idle dupes, that is mostly because we don't have enough atmo suits here. So I think what I'm gonna do is add at least one more. We already have the power and the oxygen should also be provided. So the only thing we need is another atmo suit, and it seems as though we need to cook up some more copper in order to do that. Or, well, smash the copper. Let's do another 10 crafts or so, but I believe today is going to be the day to actually switch to the metal refinery and get more efficient with that. Also, I would be interested in actually acquiring some steel. As soon as I built those tiles, the telescope actually said no line of sight, so maybe this gas reservoir is still in the way and actually not the best of ideas. Yeah, I think we could go ahead and easily remove this and still have a functional build. 4 gas reservoirs should be enough. But obviously line of sight for the telescope will be important. Now before I forget, there are actually a couple of improvements we can make. For instance, every machine that requires duplicate work should be under a light. That will probably include the sludge presses right here, as well as my rock crusher, and well, the kilns do not require duplicate work. But since we can cover everything in a reasonable manner, why the heck not? I just see the working area for the rock crusher is on the right side, so we might want to put that guy right here. Ah, there we go, wonderful. The duplicate sensor is actually capable of reaching this as well. So let's get that hooked up to some automation wire. I'm gonna get rid of that for the time being. This sludge press here is disabled anyway, since we have enough polluted water at the moment. Right now I don't want to waste my conductive wire for this. I might actually only hook this up once we have the refinery. But another light that I would like to add is probably here. This essentially means we want to go ahead and move the thermosensor. I'm just going to move it over there. Automation wire for you. We can get rid of this automation wire, get rid of this thermosensor. We're then going to add some light right here, perfectly covering both of our machines. It's absolutely wonderful. There we go, one more duplicate sensor, and this one of course is going to go to the light. It's already going to be hooked up to the power. This is going to work and hopefully making the grooming process a little bit quicker. There we go, got enough materials for another atmo suit. Let's do this. Wonderful, atmo suit is in place, which means I can now have 3 duplicates working on the top portion. Also, I noticed a lot of idle dupes, so I think whenever somebody has nothing to do, we are gonna sweep up something with priority of 1. So they will still have a job, but only do that when everything else that is more important is actually done. Nice, check this out. We already have the 2 kilograms of oxygen that we can have in here. The algae terrarium is still going, but maybe we can go ahead and disable this building. I definitely want to pick up the polluted water. Even though at 2 kilograms it's not going to be capable of off-gassing so much. I think we're actually ready to start pumping up the carbon dioxide. I want to first store it in these gas reservoirs. So let's go ahead and freaking do this. Pumping up carbon dioxide. And of course everything else is going to be filtered out in this place. Maybe I should have done that a little bit higher up with the whole automation, but I think we're going to be alright. So this is just going to travel along here. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, there it is already. Yes, fill up my reservoirs, please. Oh, actually, did I shut this off? Yes, I did. Okay, so it's going to stop right at this point. First filling up my gas reservoirs, and then whenever I want to fill up the rocket, I can just go ahead and use the switch here. Whoops, I noticed that of course the Architerrarium is not going to stop, even though you already have 2 kilograms of oxygen in there. So now we have 4 kilograms, hopefully that is not enough in order to pop their eardrums, but I disabled it now. Another thing that I noticed is it is actually very cold here. As a matter of fact, it is so cold that the carbon dioxide liquefies and sometimes even solidifies. So what I did in order to prevent this from happening is actually build everything out of insulated pipes right there. At least all the way up to the point where cold actually matters. Right here where we have no atmosphere, it doesn't matter, but the cold is seeping through here. It is my assumption that because we have this polluted water in this place, we are actually off-gassing it a little bit, and therefore we have all this polluted oxygen going around on the top of our base. Unfortunately, that means we did lose a little bit of carbon dioxide, but I can live with it. We're gonna produce a lot of that stuff. Okay, are we ready to do this? Let's open up the signal switch. Actually, before I do that, 100 kilograms. How much are we going to even need? You know what? We might not even have to do that, because I don't see a reason why anything would be wasted. They just use up as much as they use up, and when they're back, that's what we are left with. At least that is my theory. So let's go ahead and, wait, open this up. Yeah, there we go. And for now, we're just gonna fill it up completely. Yes, here we have our little progress bar. Wonderful. I really like how that's working now. Wonderful. Filled it up with 100 kilograms. I stopped it in time. So we just have a little bit of carbon dioxide up there. The pump here at the bottom isn't being very efficient. We are losing an unnecessary amount of power doing it this way. So I'm just gonna shut it off until we accumulated a little bit more carbon dioxide at the bottom. Now, we already set the destination in the previous episode, which is this hexagon, in order to orbit the planetoid, and then we can hopefully send down a rover or something. The rover module is actually still waiting for 500 kilograms of iron ore. So can I please speed this up a little bit? That would be great. There we go. Mima is doing it. So they are just building the rovers inside of the modules. No exterior work necessary. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, what are you doing? Interesting. Now the problem is I can still not launch it. Do I really need the oxidizer? That would just be absolutely horrible. No, actually, even if I wanted to add an oxidizer module, the engine's maximum module limit is exceeded. So I think we should be on the right track. Okay, there we go. There's the launch checklist. So all that's missing is qualified crew. Absolutely amazing. Now, do we already have a skill point for Ari? Yes, he can go directly into rocket piloting 2, which he definitely is gonna do. So everything will be upgraded for him, and then we are going to change the crew, and Ari is gonna be our pilot. Though I still have plenty of idle dupes. I think what I want to do is go ahead and discover what type of volcano we have going on this side of the map. And then I guess everyone else can just keep on digging and building if you have nothing to do. That should be good. Now Ari, what the heck are you doing? You're supposed to go to the rocket. That is mighty interesting. Let's maybe tell him to go upstairs here and see what he does. But Ari, all we need is qualified crew and we can launch this bad boy. Are you nervous? There he is. Ari, will you? No, not going into the rocket. Oh, that's not good. What if we set the request to crew only? Is that gonna... okay, so that was it. I had to set it to crew so that only the crew actually enters. Check this out. 3, 2, 1, blast off. They stole that from my previous Let's Play. Okay, now it's actually me who is nervous a little bit. Let's do it. Launch. Launch. Yes. Oh, wow. Holy cow, this thing was gone in no time. And check this out, we can actually see it on the star map. This new system is so perfect, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Now hopefully I will be getting a notification as soon as it has arrived. Oh, and also I just remembered we had a little bit of carbon dioxide stored up in here, which I'm actually gonna move upstairs. Will you look at that? We got our first grub egg. This essentially means we are going to need yet another stable. And if I remember correctly, this room here is actually 2 tiles too small. And I think the way I'm gonna solve that is by removing these 2 tiles. So thank you very much for your observation skills, guys. This room here on the other side is the right size. So what we have to do is build the exact copy of this room, and then we're gonna add some grubs, right? We're going to feed them the sucrose, and then they will excrete mud, basically giving us a renewable source of water. I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually prepare this already. I mean, we can easily do that. Okay, we managed to move one hexagon, and is this the progress? Ah, so great. Ah, we get a notification. I'm so glad because I want to launch like dozens of rockets at a time. So from the looks of it, now that I'm orbiting it, I can already go ahead and select it, and we are actually seeing the surface structure. Look at that, so much gold. And there's this lonely shine bug. I cannot see the rocket at the moment. Let's maybe get into the rocket and see what's happening here. Ari, are you enjoying your journey so far? Wait, do I have to do this on the star map? Like, can I select you? Yes! Everything is so intuitive. So we're going to deploy Rover. Nice, okay, I can set this up. Can I build that right here? Was that everything I had to do? I think so. That's what I'm talking about. We have a rover. Can I steer this guy? Not really, but it discovered a large portion of the map. What do we have going on here? A gold volcano. Okay, gold seems to be sorted out for us. So now basically the question is, what can I do with that? And how do I set up a landing platform so I can get some duplicants in the joint? Okay guys, I went back into my notepad where I sometimes list a bunch of comments with useful tips, and one of those is I think they act like duplicants. So we could go ahead and start digging things up. Oh, this is amazing. Let's slow down things a little bit. So what we possibly want to do is dig up a whole bunch of gold ore, make this available to us so that later on we can set up a landing pad. Yeah, look at this. They can just go ahead and do that. I wonder, do you have like a charge? Ah yes, indeed, there is a battery and we are using it up. Okay, I wonder how to recharge them. Oh no, we actually require refined metal for the landing platform. That is not exactly what I was hoping for. Hold your horses, why not actually go ahead and build a rock crusher? Duplicant operation required. Okay, it seems as though the robot isn't capable of actually building things. That is gonna make things a little more complicated. Now, one thing I do wonder about is, should we have installed a toilet and a bed? Is Ari going to actually pee in his suit and then obviously introduce some germs into our base? I think right now I don't want to risk anything, so what we're gonna do is take apart the fire poles in this place and kind of make an area to catch the potential germy polluted water once Ari comes back and unequips his suit. Unfortunately, that also means we have to slightly reroute the power. It seems as though the rover is using up the power no matter what we do, so what we should do is get this area prepared, maybe scout it out a little bit. And I'm really hoping the rover is going to be capable of at least building a bunch of ladders. So if we do something like that, are you going to build that stuff? Yes, okay, the rover can build certain things, but not others, it seems. Now, I believe it might be wise to keep all the gases that we currently have on the planet in the joint, so the duplicants will be able to survive. But on the other side, I would like to just go ahead and explore this. Actually, thinking about this, why don't we just go ahead and fly Ari back? I mean, we can leave the rover on the planet. It should work on its own, right? Yeah, I think that is a wonderful idea. Let's change the destination to go back to our starting planetoid. I believe, yeah, there we go. They are already on their way. Why aren't you using the rocket control station? It seems as though they now are getting confused with the atmosuits. I do not appreciate that at all. And also, we might actually be able to send our pilots without an atmosuit. The way we could possibly go ahead and achieve that is by actually making a separate way to get there. Let me go ahead and set up another platform. Want to do this on the same level here. However, this time all we need is a simple liquid log, something like that. Gonna have my bottle emptier here, take apart the rest of the things, and then we are building up a ladder that goes directly to the landing pads. And then all we have to do is make this the only accessibility to our landing pads. Obviously, we have the liquid log, that should be good. All we have to do is make sure they cannot reach this ladder. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually take apart this last gas reservoir. Yeah, we're not gonna need that anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and let them build this first, and then we are gonna make the switch. In the meantime, my rover is still doing its thing. Absolutely wonderful. I believe we should have more materials to progress here a little bit. We're gonna go all the way down here, get a feeling of the planetoid, and then potentially set up something nice for duplicants once they arrive. Wait, it already returned. I totally missed it. Yeah, check this out. Ari has actually got a soiled suit. Oh my gosh, we might have to hurry a little bit. Yeah, we need to go ahead, deconstruct this ASAP. Ah, good to know. We're actually not in a hurry. Ari put off his helmet in order to catch a breather, thankfully. Thank you, Nails. We are going to go ahead and build this tile right away, because I suspect as soon as Ari puts off his suit, we are gonna have a mess right here with germs, and obviously that is something we don't want. So let's set this to all duplicants, and Ari should exit the module. Wonderful. Okay, he's hungry, obviously, totally exhausted, maybe not happy. Come on, guy, do something about it. I mean, you had some food in there. I guess he couldn't actually eat in the Atmos suit. So it's actually a really good idea to make them go into the rocket without a suit. That's what I'm talking about. Ari made a complete mess here, but we are gonna pick that up in no time. Oh, check this out. We also got an aluminium volcano. Well, I guess we're gonna have lots of volcano tamers in the joint. Before we launch another rocket, I want to make sure they get into the rocket without an Atmos suit. A thing we could go ahead and upgrade are the farm tiles into hydroponics, so we could serve them with polluted water automatically. This will most likely require some more sophisticated automation in order to stop the flow of water. I think I'm gonna wait with that until we need more duplicant labor. At the moment, I'm more struggling with idling dupes than not having enough of them. My gas reservoirs right here are empty, so I think we are able to remove them. You know what? I think I built this in the wrong spot. What I would like to do is obviously continue my shaft here and make it fit our contraption. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to move everything just slightly. This means my ladder is gonna come up here. Wonderful. And this is the place where I want to set up my liquid lock. I'm gonna attempt to mirror the setup we have on the other side. Eventually, I might want to still add Atmos suits. I'm not sure about that. So my liquid log would actually go right in this place. We would then make a little division here before continue with our ladder. So that's where our ladder is gonna go. And all we want is to be able to reach the rocket. I'm gonna be generous and also already set up the fire pole. Man, I'm struggling with the polluted oxygen again. I think we need some more deodorizers in the joint, and obviously they also need power. The right one already got power, so maybe the left one I'm just gonna set up right there so we don't have to waste any more materials. In the meantime, the new ranch is also being built. We could already go ahead and prepare the next room, which is gonna go here. Got a pneumatic door and some airflow tiles right there. And of course we're also gonna set up some incubators for those. I just see we have all the incubators completely full, which means we should add them right there to our omelet cooking diet. Oh, looks like my robot actually got stuck here, so we just have to dig down one tile. Should not be a problem. Wait a second. There's another gold volcano on this planetoid. Wow, that's insane. Now, another thing you guys recommended me is to put a water cooler into this room, because they do like to hang out in this room if they have the time for it. And then on the other side, we should go ahead and disable this building, so they are not going to waste their time filling this up with water, but it should still provide the bonuses to actually make this a great haul. In the meantime, we should also focus on actually getting this finished here. We're also going to need a bottle emptier, but soon enough we should have this third ranch in place as well. Alrighty, we're actually almost done with the ladder part. I also made sure this is not reachable from the Atmos suit side, and I'm also taking apart the ladder that was leading to the rocket previously. On my new planet, I'm basically just continuing my discoveries. We have something like a radioactive biome here at the bottom. So that is going to be really interesting to discover. Also, the map is rather small. At the bottom, there is no magma. So I'm just guessing we're going to have way more problems with the cold than with the actual heat. There's also a carbon dioxide geyser. Might be handy to fuel a couple more rockets. So at the moment, I'm just going to be digging right and left in order to hopefully reveal most of the map before the robot runs out of charge. I accidentally unleashed some oxalite. This is why we have some oxygen going on. But we still have plenty of the stuff here in order to then kickstart our base, so in the beginning we're not going to be struggling with oxygen until we have our setup. Another thing I would like to get myself prepared for is a nice flat surface area in order to then set up my launch pads and everything. Wonderful, looks like we completed the ladder, everything should be fine, liquid lock is in place as well. In the meantime, we have also almost completed our ranch here. I think I will be able to take apart the ladders now. No, actually not quite, at least not these. I want to replace those with tiles as well. Oh, not the sedimentary rock. Obviously, we want the granite. And then last but not least, we also want to set up another Atmos suit checkpoint with an Atmos suit dock and expand all of this. Let me do this like so. Power slowly but surely is going to be a problem, and we will need to take care of that. One way obviously is going to be to actually build the refinery so we can make the refined metal and kind of go from there. One last thing I'm gonna do is put a storage bin right here so that we can go ahead and pick up this grub egg. There we go, let's do this. Critter egg, grub, where are you? Right there, priority 9. Let's do this quickly. And at this point, I'm also gonna go ahead and fill this up with a little bit of water. Oh, and of course, we also need a pneumatic door right there. Also crafting one more Atmo suit. Ashcan over here should be taking care of that. Oh no, where did my grub egg go? I think somebody picked it up and then let it drop on... Yeah, look at that. Oh man, you guys. I guess that was actually because of the atmosphere checkpoint. They had no way to actually get in there. Wonderful, thank you so much. Let's go ahead, deconstruct this, let the egg fall on the floor, and we can just let it hatch on its own. Alright, I think with that out of the way, we're going to wrap up today's episode. I'm pretty happy with what we have accomplished today. Another farm, another planet, absolutely insane. My robot still has a little bit of work left to do, and we have discovered the map from the right to the left, basically almost completely at this point. So in the next episode, we will be planning out how we want to set up the base, how we can prepare everything in order for duplicants to arrive. We will also be taking care of the farms and potentially the planet that is connected to us through this teleporter. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to support the video with a like or a comment. And even better, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. You would just make my day. Really appreciate it, guys. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.